Since the last time I gave an update, we have supplemented our pleadings and motion papers on a pending motion by the village to have an overseer appointed in the matter of the East Orange Water Commission's operation of the system here in South Orange and the supplying of water.
Could you explain just for the public benefit what that is?
Well, it's the way we see it. It's a position. The overseer position is somewhere between a receiver and a special master, both of which those two are well recognized positions where a special master would be assisting a court in a complex litigation dealing with discovery matters and such, and on the other extreme, a receiver who would actually take operational control of a business. In this case, we thought that we should seek something more than a special master, someone who could have access to information directly without the need to engage in discovery. And that motion is currently pending. It's going to be heard on January the 5th. We have just been advised. There has been an effort to settle some procedural issues, which I'm not free to discuss in public session, which might streamline the process somewhat. But the case is pending. The East Orange Water Commission has received some additional violations, which the court has been made aware of. The most egregious of them being DEP personnel arriving at their pumping facility and asking for information and being denied it, and having received a violation for that behavior, all of which is before the court right now and will be part of the argument that we make on the 5th of January in support of our motion for an overseer.
Steve, with respect to the public, obviously one of the most frequently asked questions is, has the problem been resolved? And we had the meeting here in Village Hall several months ago. I don't know, again, we obviously talk about this every week, but I don't know what you can or want to share. But as far as the water quality issues, and is there anything that has changed, or any other additional testing that you can share publicly?
Well, the testing continues by East Orange Water, and we do independent, separate testing on behalf of the village. Those tests continue to show a relatively high level, but not one that exceeds the limits that are proposed or set by DEP. We are still concerned about it, though, because there is the fear, and I think a reasonable fear, that East Orange Water is manipulating the pumping of wells so as to control the testing. For that reason, one of the reasons we want to see an overseer appointed, so that that sort of behavior can be more closely monitored.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I have some questions. I'd like to be able to discuss this subject in closed session tonight, because we were given some legal papers, and I have some feedback, and now that I know that this is going to be heard on January 5th, tonight will be our only opportunity to do that.
Okay, I think, for these sort of things, it's obviously not on our executive session agenda already for tonight.
Well, we would have to add it now.
If that's something that the board wants to do, that's something that we certainly can do.
I would appreciate it.
I'd like to do that.
No, you should.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Claudia Matthews, South Orange, 433 Vos Avenue. I actually got out of bed after watching you in bed on TV. Thank you for the update on the water, Mr. Arthur. I actually just want to really, as the water thing is obviously very important to me, I had surgery on Tuesday. I'm looking at another surgery on the 28th. I'm now diagnosed with 3 conditions. All 3 are tied to tetrachloroethylene, 2 other things too, but all 3 happen to have that same denominator. It is to me unacceptable that East Orange Water denies access to the state. I obviously know we are already in a major lawsuit, but I really would like to make it clear that for us as residents, we do not know what our exposure is. I've talked to some scientists. There is no way that even the state can tell us what our exposure is during the times that they have manipulated the well pumping and excluded the good wells or included the bad wells. We do not know what the contamination of those bad wells is. We have no idea, neither does the state. I confirmed it with them. To think that there is another dump found on the East Orange Water Company's property that was allowed to grow double in size over the last year alone. We do not know what the contaminants are in that dump site. They are right next to a well. We've had heavy rains in this past year. We had a hurricane. We're looking at major flooding issues. That all has gone into groundwater, and we do not know what is in that dump site. The state doesn't know what is in that dump site. So we're not even just looking at tetrachloroethylene now. We're looking at lots of other things, and I think it's been very clear to us residents too now how horrendous the business practices of this water company and how illegal they work. I mean, it's unbelievable. But as a resident, it's really very important to us that we get regular updates, and I would really appreciate if that could be at every meeting, because for a lot of us this has become really a top priority. It really has. It's not just an item to be discussed once every quarter. We want updates every town hall meeting, and if it's 5 minutes, but really it's become a big issue. If it's possible, and I don't know if it is legally possible for you, is there any chance that we as residents can get access to the tests that the town did? Mr.
I suppose, I mean, that's, sure. Sure.
If you don't mind, I would email you tomorrow, and if you want to discuss it maybe tonight, that would be very much appreciated, because my medical people would like to see them. Again, please understand that this has major implications for a lot of people, especially the people that are being warned specifically by the state's documents, by the violation documents. There's people like me who have heavy medications for epilepsy who do not need a lot of this stuff in order to have serious problems. I've been on these medications for 30 years and I never had a problem until started December of last year. So, you know, it's a whole lot of coincidences now. We had the first major problem since the previous June is when you guys got the first major readings from a resident and you did your own internal testing. Plus, if you are doing testings, may I suggest, and that is also from, actually from a university that specializes in Washington State, Evergreen, that specializes in the water contamination. You want to do the testing on a tap that has not been opened first time when it opens in the morning, because tetrachloroethylene bulks up and it should be taken from the lowest lying properties in town.
We have a lab.
Steve, can you use your microphone?
We have a lab and experts who understand how to take samples so that you're getting a representative sample. We're very much aware of that in how we take our sample.
And is it taken during the course of the month at different times, so we avoid their manipulation?
Yeah, we're trying to do that. Unfortunately, by accident, the last sample that the village took happened to be on the same day that
Christine?
East Orange did. But we're trying to take the samples off time so that if there is an issue with cycling, which we believe there may be, that we catch the difference.
Would it help the lawsuit if the residents would get behind this with the signature lists, or?
Not really, not really. The case is going to be decided on the facts as they're presented in court. Petitions really.
Because people are looking to not pay their water bills, and knowing East Orange
Yeah.
Water, they're going to be turned
All
off.
that's going to happen is you're going to get the tap turned off.
Yeah.
That's all
Okay.
that's going to happen.
Well, thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thanks, and we will certainly make an effort to continue to provide more regular public updates as well about this. Is there anyone else